What are you seeing?
Well, we're seeing the culmination of, I believe, what was illustrated by the guys that wrote The Fourth Turning. And if you've read that book, we're in a phase of chaos, which is usually represented by either civil war or external war, or potentially even both. And there's economic cycles, there's civilization cycles, and it seems that we're flat in it, probably going to be in this for another 10 years.
Yeah.
As the technological the technological advancement has really outstripped our biological capacity to handle it. So, for example, we just witnessed the most public event in world history with the attempted assassination of the former President Donald Trump and the current candidate. Now, I'm a Canadian. I don't get to vote either way. Okay, so I want to be clear about that. And it's not a political statement. But the moment can't be lost in the fact that, once again, the authorities that we are entrusting to give us accurate information are stonewalling us. And we saw this in the pandemic. We saw this, we also saw this with the hearings in the university stuff. We saw it in the Capitol 6. And what's happened is we have a fractionation of opinions distributed through these little things that gain traction, that reaffirm whatever biases. I don't know what happened. I don't know what's behind all this. And people are grabbing for certainty because you need a certain amount of certainty and direction. It's why people get a coach when they're trying to figure out their fitness.
Right.
Hey, there's a lot of ways to get fit, but you need some sort of direction. Why do you have a professor at a university that you learn, or a teacher of profession, or a spiritual teaching, or a leader, or a functional religion, these structures? Well, now there's so much confusion around this that people are spinning around in these cycles of, what do I do? What about this? Is it a conspiracy? Is this the rise of Hitler? Is it, is it the end of the world? Is it World War III? And what happens, two things. Either you get really hyper motivated and indoctrinated with some kind of defense, is like, we've got to save the nation and we've got to kill everybody or fight everybody. Or you go into a defense mode where it's like, I'm not listening to it. I'm checked out.
Yep.
I want to play the safe game. I don't want to deal with this. I want to just hunker down in my room and play some video games or something and take some substances that just detach me from society. And we're seeing that we've got to find a better resolution to the new challenges of society. So there is a call to action for a lot of people, but that action can't be based in fear, and it can't be entrenched in violence. Because if it is, the cost of the solution is much higher than we need to pay.
Right.
But it doesn't look like anybody's learning the lessons. So it's likely the worst case scenario. And we have, as men who are in charge of our families, that's our immediate community, and then the community that we're in, we have to start gathering ourselves with other men to find essentially new, independent communities that are able to provide support and safety for each other in a non-combative way, hopefully.
Agreed.
And that's our task. That's our calling. We can't solve these national things, but we can solve the local. When we solve the local problems, I think we have an opportunity to solve the bigger problems.